luck. I really would like to see you succeed. That's really a noble vision. Our next speaker is Nikunj Jain, who's going to talk about anthropomorphism and the design of sustainable vehicles, and is part of that quirky thing you get with Ignite, where you've got people can be talking about the human side of the company, and then transition into the artistic ideas of motion and design and that kind of thing. So Nikunj is from in the graduate program at the Center for Creative Studies. Is that? College of Creative Studies. It changes. I'm stuck in the past. And he's going to give us kind of a design-centric view of this whole thing.
Thank you very much. So my name is Nikunj Jain. I'm from the College of Creative Studies. I'm pursuing my master's in transportation design. Today I'm going to be talking to you about anthropomorphism in the design of sustainable vehicles. So imagine that this is Justin. He's 16, 17 years old, and his main form of transportation is between high school and home. So he managed to convince his parents that he should buy a motorbike. Now when Justin turns 24, his life changes, his needs change, and he's just proposed to his girlfriend, he's starting a new family. So his focus shifts to more of work. It's the boardroom, and communication-wise, it becomes more evolved, more complex. So similarly, when Justin goes further through his life stage, he turns 34, 35, he has his own family to think about. The family's needs also start to grow, and you need more space. At the same time, his communication is now more diverse. It's not just the boardroom, but it's also the dining room. So he's gone through life where it's from the classroom to the boardroom all the way to the dining room. If you think about sustainability in his life, it's not just each of these vehicles, what comes out of the tailpipes, or what material is used within these vehicles. When you actually think of sustainability, I think of the production as well. How do you look at these vehicles, which in essence, it's much more efficient to actually run the vehicle for a longer period of time than to get rid of it and buy a new vehicle which has a slightly better miles per gallon. So I started thinking about this idea, if you could take the functionality that these three vehicles provide and combine them, and that's where the creative background came in. So I penned down this idea of having one vehicle, which is a small two-seater, two-wheel pod, which is pre-packaged with the next components, and it grows over time. It goes to the metamorphism of going from two-seater to a four-seater sports car to a minivan, all the way to the utilitarian minivan. So when you look at the burden that today's three vehicles have, in my research it's shown that it takes about 6 times the material that the vehicle, 6 times the vehicle's weight for one vehicle. So what I'm essentially doing in my project is taking just 1/3 of that weight and spreading it over a longer lifespan, all the way from when he's in high school all the way till when he has his own family. The other part of this project is revenue. Every OEM in the room is thinking, well, you're producing 1/3 the cars, how do you still end up making money? And for that, I actually looked at something altogether different, a service. So when I think about service, the first thing that came to mind is applications, as we talked about earlier. Applications are a fast-growing market. Apple just hit about 10 billion downloads. It's a huge market, and it's constantly growing. And the speed at which customers are interacting with corporations is becoming even more increasing. So that got me thinking, in the words of AT&T, is there an app for that? So if you have this vehicle that you start off with a two-wheel car, can you buy an application which allows you to unlock the next part of the car, and similarly product after? What this essentially does is it can open up the design. So you look at one vehicle, but you can have people who know how to code API, design features on the car, and that way they can sell the product through your market, so giving you a piece of the pie. So you're producing less. But for the customer, what is the commitment that the customer has in order to keep this car for a longer period of time? And that's where anthropomorphism comes in. It's the emotional connection. In order to make the emotional connection, you have products like Tamagotchi, which I don't know many of you know about, but it was a huge success. And they were able to manage the emotional connection. For cars, people do have emotional connections with their cars, every day you drive down the street and you do see people who kind of morph their personality onto the vehicle and vice versa. They start to look like their car, start to behave like their car. So that got me thinking about this idea of what if this project is about taking this vehicle, which it starts with a two-wheel, two-seater car, morphs into the next version, and so forth. And this actually benefits not just the customer, but it altogether benefits the society and the consumer while keeping constant revenue stream and being able to connect with the customer every day. Thank you very much.